How is it going, everybody? It is Sean, or the Armchair Coach, and welcome to Season 3 of UTSA Dynasty. We completed the off-season stream on twitch.tv/TheArmChairCoach. If you did not join me there, I sorely missed you, but it's okay. We are getting ready to hop in to another fantastic season here. First things first, let's take a look at how things have changed for us in the offseason. We had, I think, probably the best possible recruiting cycle we could have had. Every single player that we went after during the season ends up coming to our team for the most part, as well as everybody we end up targeting in the transfer portal. So looking at the team now, we have a much improved roster all around. You can see here that we have an 80 overall roster. We have lots of talent. We have plenty of talent in the running back room with the new threat in Deuce Lawrence. James Madison has gotten even better as our outside receiver. A couple of our guys have developed in the offseason, and we also bring in a couple of guys to maybe push for some starting time here. And across the board, we have brought in talent from around the college football landscape, and we have brought them here to San Antonio to bring this team a title. Now, this year, I think a realistic expectation would be for us to get a conference title, if nothing else. But we will see what this team is capable of as we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and set up our red shirts, and we will reconvene when it is time for us to start working on our NIL and blueprint for this season. Red shirt set. We've already taken a look at the roster and adjusted everything to begin this season, so we have the updated roster on our spreadsheets. When we look here at the preseason All-Americans, no love for us in the All-American teams. However, for the first time so far in this dynasty, we do get some love in the All-Conference teams. We see here that Collins Achimpong gets some love in the All-Conference second team, and James Madison here gets some love in the All-Conference first team. So, making some progress as far as making our name known on the national stage. But we have to continue to make more progress towards that this season. And as you can see here, we've got a lot of free NIL budget that we can spend here. And we have an empty staff slot that we can use. Now, we do have the ability to hire, another staff support here. So what do we go for here? Do we maybe spend 150 hours and give ourselves a recruiting assistant? Do we maybe give ourselves a strength and conditioning assistant? Or, maybe we go for the assistant contract analyst, which will help reduce NIL expectations by 10%. So for us, I think, I honestly think we go for the recruiting assistant. We give ourselves some extra recruiting hours to start the season. We have some elite recruiters here, and we could also spend the NIL money that we've got to upgrade our facility, but I think we hold off on doing that for one more season. And we try to see if we can pull in some more NIL after having a great successful season and upgrade our facility then. So we can now set up our recruiting board. And let's take a look at what we're going to need this season. It's always a little bit scary, but it's actually not looking too bad this year. Looks like we need a little bit of everything everywhere, but as you can see, we now are starting to garner some interest from 3-star recruits off the bat, which is a positive. But we're still going to be smart with how we recruit. Want to make sure we maximize our NIL there. As you can see, we're projected to have 810 back at the end of the season from our starters leaving via graduation. So we definitely want to be able to hold on to as much of that for the off season and maybe even upgrading our facility at the end of the season. So I'm going to start adding some guys here, and we'll check in when we have a full board and we begin scouting. Okay, so we've got a full list of recruits up here, and we've got 14 on the list this year. I think we are getting an increase in our recruiting hours between being a little bit of a better program and the support staff that we just hired. So I think we are in good shape for us to maybe add a couple more guys early on here, try to get ourselves in position to compete for some bigger recruits. But we are going to go ahead and scout these guys here. We put a quarterback on our board here, Max Jennings. He's not exactly fast, but he does have decent throw power. So definitely keep him on the board here. We added Daryl Huber, an elusive bruiser. Haven't scouted many of them so far, but this guy looks to be a gem, so we'll definitely keep him on the board. 86 speed isn't crazy, but the development could turn him into something extremely good. We've got Xavier Dicker on the board here. He's a route artist, and in my experience, route artists are incredibly small, but he is 6'2", 160. So he's got great size for the archetype, and he's got pretty decent speed. So I think he could definitely turn into something with the right development and a good development trait. So we'll keep him on the board. Manny Boyette is a tight end. We need another one, and he is a bust. So he is the first guy we are going to remove from our board here. That stinks. We definitely want to find somebody good here sooner rather than later. Dante Gibbs is a gem. He is a left or a tackle, but he is an athlete, so he can play anywhere along the offensive line, but he is a gem. So we'll keep him on the board here. We've got Eric Key. Not expecting a bunch of NIL, but we have got a couple of gems in this class right now. Can we keep this hot streak up? Jordan Ofadile. Looks like he might be a little bit more of a development project, but he's not a bust, so we can work with that. Mitch Fallon, same thing. Not too great as far as his pass rush moves, but we can definitely work with that and develop it. Can we find something in the second half of our recruiting class to make us excited? Finding a bunch of solid talent, if nothing else. We've got 30, 60, 90, 120. So we'll have the opportunity to scout one more player. If hopefully all of these guys aren't busts, which it looks like we're in good shape for so far. And Legend Amati is the last guy here. Alright, so no busts besides the tight end. So let's go back to the tight end position group here. Not a ton of guys who are in our pipeline that are interested. There is Timmy Reese here. He's gritty possession type, but usually those guys are slow as dirt. Tried to go for Manny Boyette here because he was cheap. But there is also Stephen Montgomery here. He's about the same size, slightly smaller weight-wise, and he's a little bit more expensive with NIL. But he's not a bust. So we'll go ahead and keep him on the board, and with that, these are the 14 guys we're going to target at the start of this season. I'll be interested to see if we can win some of these recruitment battles quickly. I would love to be able to maybe try going after a player or two in the 4-star range, but it all depends on how these recruitments go, because even last year, while we were, I think, doing way better in the recruitment overall throughout the entire season, we still had plenty of guys that waited until the offseason to finally commit. So we'll have to be playing that by ear, and we will see. So with recruitment set up, we can take a look here at our schedule to start this season. Looks like we are going to have another game on the road at Texas this year. I can only imagine how painful that's going to be. Oh Lord. And yeah, this'll be fun. The torture is insane. And we will advance here to week 0 and get ourselves ready for some recruitments. We definitely have... Oh, I forgot to look at our AD expectations. Let's go see what those are real quick for this season, aside from our goal of upgrading our facility here. So we have to have fewer than 17 turnovers on offense, which I think we did a pretty good job not doing that last year. And then it says we have to beat Texas State by a touchdown or more, which I think we can definitely do. We had no problem beating them last year. So we'll set up our weekly practice and begin our recruiting trail. So we have 385 hours to spend in recruiting this year. So what do we want to do? How do we spend them? I think we have 14, so 24, so it's 4, 8, 12. Theoretically, I think we've got enough on here to... I mean, do we see if any of these guys get scholarships? So no, we're gonna hold off on offering scholarships this first week, just because, like, I would much rather work our way up the board than spend the 5 hours on everybody just to offer a scholarship, especially when we have less hours. I think once we have even more recruiting hours than what we've got right now, we will feel a little bit less hesitant to do that, I think. But right now, with what we've got, we definitely have to kind of monitor and moderate how we spend our hours. So we'll put 25 down on everybody on our board, because we can afford to do that, and we'll be left with 35 points left over. So no, I don't think if I look in the prospect list, I see if anybody's got offers this week. So not worth it to necessarily throw another guy on the board here. So we'll hold off on doing that. But everyone's got some hours on them. Maybe we try to throw some extra hours down on guys who are, like, not even on their board yet, like Stephen Montgomery here. We might throw him an extra 10 hours. So, yeah, same thing with Daryl Huber here. And we'll definitely prioritize it by where they sit on the recruiting board. Okay, so now we're left with an extra 15 hours. So we'll go with like a diet hard sell on these guys here. And then we'll just hold on to the extra 5 points. And then we will move on to next week, where we will finally see our first game action of this brand new season. James Hand's first full season at the helm. His second season on our roster, but as you might remember, he took the reins away from Denzel Gardner, who was really struggling in the first part of this season, or last season. So we'll set up practice here. We'll check in on our recruiting. Looking at the recruiting trail here, I can see that Legend Amati here got himself a few offers early on. So we are going to go ahead and throw the scholarship offer. And with that, now we kind of have to take a look at the board and adjust our hours. So Stephen Montgomery's still not looking at any offers, so we can kind of pull back a little bit, because we are going to need to offer Mitch Fallon here, as he does have a few offers. But Daryl Huber finds himself with a few offers as well. So I'm going to throw him a little extra NIL since he's a gem. We want him to get into our program. How about Dante Gibbs? He's got some scholarship offers here early. So we'll offer him a scholarship as well with some extra NIL, because we want him in our program. I mean, so many of these guys are getting scholarships. And that's a little bit of an issue. Like, did everybody we add get a scholarship? Just about. So this becomes mildly problematic. It almost makes me wish we had spent that NIL last week, or those hours last week. Because, I mean, look how many guys here are getting offered a scholarship. And we'll have to kind of throw ourselves into these fights early this year, which is a little bit of a surprise. So we dial back maybe our recruiting pitch for some of these guys. That way we can do what we need to do as far as offering scholarships. I am a little bit surprised. I knew some of these guys were going to want NIL right away. So not necessarily shocked that we're going to have to offer NIL. It's just I think the pace at which we ended up having to jump into some of these recruitments, as we will have to, I think, dial back our commitment on a couple more of these guys here. But so scholarship offers have to go out early this year. That's fine. We still have like one or two guys here that we didn't have to offer anything to, but that'll definitely be something to keep our eyes on. Maybe it'll actually benefit us because we can close out these recruitments a little bit faster. But first game on the road against an Eastern Michigan team. On paper, we are the better squad. Will we be that way on the field? First game of the year. Let's find out what kind of team we're looking at this year. So, taking the field at Eastern Michigan. For the first time this season, it is our UTSA Roadrunners. We have a lot of confidence in our squad at this point. We have worked very hard, and the headless fans are working very hard to appear in the audience as Eastern Michigan gets ready to march out the tunnel. Or I guess not the tunnel, I just get coming on the field. And we ourselves are going to get ready to take the field here. First matchup on the season, a lot of things on the line, but I think we have the talent to really put up a season to open the eyes of the nation. So let's get in here, let's play the moments, let's see what this squad can do in sim, and we are given the ball first down on our own 8-yard line. Big game drive, more like long drive to start the game, as we're going to hand off here. Oh, and my batteries are dying. I need to change those real quick. One moment. Okay, and we're back. New batteries in the controller, and it is 2nd and 5 here. I see no reason to not hand off again to our best players. We hand off to DJ Dugard Jr., who's got a little bit more burst this season, invested in putting some points in his speed, and I definitely think it's going to pay off like it did there on that run. Big gain, and now on this first down, maybe we try to get an RPO going. We've got talent out on either side there that we can throw to, as we'll get the ball out to Mekhi Anderson. Took a big step up in the offseason, got a lot better, and earned himself a spot on the field. And now on 2nd and 5, I don't like that play. I think we'll switch to a screen here for DJ Dugard Jr. And, okay, so the thing about the screens this year, it feels like, is or at least on the halfback screens, it feels like my running back does not move away from the defensive line, as we are going to get sacked there. So, unfortunately, we are going to walk away empty-handed on our first drive of the new season. I think the problem, once again, is that play that I tried to pick there was not the right one. And we are going to watch some more of this game now as we are put in here. 3rd and 9. Offense pushing it across Eastern Michigan's field, or half of the field. Not seeing anything open, so we'll just step up with James Hand and get the first down. Happy to do that all game long if it means we can score points. We're back on 3rd down again already. We'll have to look to the pass here. What can we produce on 3rd down this time? Eastern Michigan playing some good defense here, and we'll step up and run again. And we will get to the sticks, but not earn the first down. And so on 4th and inches here, I think we keep the offense out on the field. We give a handoff to DJ Dugard Jr., and we let him pick it up. And that's exactly what he'll do here. So first down inside the red zone here. We're going to get control. Let's see if we can get something going through the air a little bit. I mean, we brought in lots of talent, but they're playing good coverage, and they're going to get their 4th sack of the game. It's a little bit concerning that they've gotten 4 sacks today. I don't like that we haven't had time to throw the ball, as we're going to find Arvis Battle Jr. there, a guy we just brought in through the portal, and he'll pick up a nice little chunk for us. And on 3rd and 7, we can't settle for a small little check down, as we're going to try to get the ball off, and nothing going on again. Eastern Michigan's defense playing really tight here to start the first part of the game, and we're going to have to settle for a field goal. So, once again, throwing against the Heisman coverage here, it's really tough. Luckily, we're getting taken to the 2-minute warning here, or 2-minute timeout. But luckily, our offense is seeming to do a lot of the hard part in sim. They're getting us down the field, as we'll dump it off there to Mekhi Anderson, get us a little bit of chunk. And as we aren't able to pick up the first down, I didn't realize it was a 3rd down. I thought we were just in the red zone. I think we're going to go for it. Late in the first half, I see a matchup we have liked so many times in the past over there on the left side. Can he go up and get it? No, and it's going to be tipped and intercepted, actually. The worst possible outcome. And, they turn it over themselves, so now we're back in the red zone. So, a little bit of a messy start to the season here on both sides of the footballs. We're going to hand off to DJ Dugard Jr., and he is going to get us into the end zone for the first time this season, as he did so many times last year, carrying the weight for this offense. So Eastern Michigan finally gets some points on the board in the 3rd quarter, and they are driving the ball again, as it is 4th and inches here. I think we don't really know what to play. They're going to run a wildcat play, and it is not going to work. We get a big stop there on 4th down. I was incredibly confused by that. So 4th down for us now on their half of the field. I definitely think we keep the offense out there, try to get ourselves in a position to maybe put an end to this game, as we're going to put it right on James Madison. And James Hand has had a really horrendous game. 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Not the kind of opening to the season you want to have for your quarterback. I mean, he also looks incredibly banged up. He's doing the windmill every time he steps behind the line there. Handoff to DJ Dugard Jr., and he gets lit up on that play. So, a little bit worrisome how we have come out here against a team that I think we should be performing much better against. We do finally manage to find a touchdown there. Is that Romel Stevens, the transfer we just brought in? Big contested catch guy. Maybe at some point we give him some opportunities out there on the edge, especially down in the red zone, to make us a play. We find ourselves in a 3rd and 8, their half of the field. I think we play it a little conservative here, play for a short 4th down, and we do manage to pick up the first down with DJ Dugard Jr. He is taking a big bulk of carries in this game, and I think that's because he is also fulfilling the 3rd down back role. I think maybe or at some point we maybe go into the depth chart and have somebody else take that role so he can stay fresh. I see James Madison over there on the edge, can't get the catch timing. I want to give our best receiver from last year a chance to go out there and look like, that guy in this game. But nothing doing. Eastern Michigan has, I think, come out with a great plan to protect the passing lanes, but not so much in the run game. Definitely finding some space, definitely being able to move the ball in that way. So in the red zone now, 3rd and 2. Can we pick up a first? Or maybe we go for the touchdown. Oh, no, we're going to get picked off for a 4th time. Oh, no, and this one might be a pick 6. I mean, they're just... we're playing man coverage on a curl route, and I'm hoping that... Oh, no. I'm hoping that when I throw with anticipation, my guy that's supposed to be a great route runner can create some separation, but that is not what ends up happening, and we are now thrust into a moment where we have to make a stop to win this game now. So not the kind of play you want to make when the game is on the line in the way that it was. I mean, 4 interceptions from our quarterback, and I mean 3 of those weren't even me. So really tough day through the air for our quarterback before I even made that mistake. But defensively, it looks like we are putting on a pretty good performance here. Definitely getting a lot more pressure back into the backfield than I remember watching last year. As it is now 3rd and 7 with the 2-minute timeout passing us by. They want us to blitz here on 3rd down, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm down to clown. We can get aggressive here. Maybe force him to make a mistake, but he does get the ball out, and his receiver just drops it, unfortunately for them. So 4th down now, game on the line here, you would think. Can they pick the 1st down up, or can we get the stop? We are going to look, and that ball is incomplete. And despite the struggles here, we are now in good position to walk away from this first game with a win. You could definitely argue that we did not deserve to walk out of this game with a win, as DJ Dugar Jr. is going to stutter and get us inside the 5-yard line here, as Eastern Michigan's going to take a timeout. But I think we're just going to hand off here again and put this game to bed. Or maybe no, as they get a stop there on 1st. We still have quite the advantage here. But yeah, a little bit worrisome this game. Really tough offensive performance. The only thing that went to plan here, I think, was DJ Dugar having the kind of performance we're watching as he runs the ball in a second time and seals the win for us. But as we take a look at the stats here, we are going to see a whole lot of bad, I think, from our passing game. 17 of 28, so efficient, completing his passes, also completing a lot of passes to the other team, unfortunately. He does end up with a touchdown pass, and rushing-wise, great game from DJ Dugar Jr., 26 carries for 150 yards. He's definitely carrying a lot of the weight offensively. And then receiving, Parker Fulgham had 4 for 50. James Madison had 3 for 46, and then Mekhi Anderson had 3. So spreading the wealth evenly. We're just not having the best luck with our passing game in this game. Not many tackles for loss or sacks. We do manage to pull off an interception, but rough start to the season, to say the least. But a win is indeed a win. So we've got to gather our bearings and get into next week now. We still got to take a look at our recruits, see how we're doing there, and we got to get ready for a big matchup against Texas. I don't know if it's next week or the week after, but we are going to be in a very important matchup. And if we play like we did today, it's going to be a long, long game for us. A couple of guys have reached their top 5, and not a good start towards our turnover margin, or our turnovers there, as James Hand throws 4 picks to begin the season. In recruiting here, as you can see, we've got guys who have reached their top 5 already, so we need to do some adjusting of our hours. Give me a few minutes to brainstorm, and then I'll reconvene when I've got our plan in mind. So, busy week for recruiting, to say the least. Have a lot of guys that needed adjustments to their hours. We are bringing in a lot of guys week 5. That is our game against Air Force. We have our right guard, left tackle, our running back, and our quarterback all coming in that week. And I think all of those visits are going to be important. And Air Force is, I think, absolutely a game we should be winning. Now, everybody else here, we're still just kind of battling with all of the other teams right now. And we don't have the hours to kind of commit to anybody more than anybody else. So we're just going to kind of have to stick it out where we're at. We do have 20 hours we can spend. And I think we're going to throw them on Jordan Ofadial here, who we're going up against Baylor. And we can also throw... I think we'll throw 10 hours on Deshaun Landers here, who we're only in 3rd place for. So that's how we'll leave things for that this week. And with that, it is now time for the I-35 showdown. We are up against a Texas State team that we should have no problems handling. However, we started really poorly last week. So what does this team have today? Can we do a little bit better this time, maybe? That sure would be a relief, but we will find out on the field. We are away from home, once again inside Texas State Stadium. A big game this week because 80 expectations rely on us winning this game by more than 7 points. We are on the road. It's always harder to win on the road. Are we going to be able to put up a good performance today? Let's find out. We're already thrown in on a 3rd down moment. Last week went horrendously for James Hand. Might have to cut off his hand if he keeps making horrible decisions with the ball. As we're going to dump off to James Madison here and pick up the 1st down. And the offense is going to continue to move the ball inside the red zone here. I feel like Eastern Michigan's defense might have had our number in that game. Maybe we come out here, we be a little bit more dominant as one of our players gets injured right away. We are given a red zone moment finally, so we'll start with an RPO here, see if we can get something out to the side. And I do see an open man here as we're going to get it off to Ramel Stevens, guy we brought in through the portal. Might contribute for us, might not this season. I still think there's a role for him, even if he doesn't get a ton of playing time. And we're going to drop back here. Nothing going on, but they've got the QB spy going, and we'll only pick up 2. So very interesting to note that they've got the QB spy on James Hand there. As we'll hand off to Dugar Jr. here, and he is going to burst and get us so close to the goal line. Not quite, though. We let him finish this drive off. He's definitely carrying the weight for us. And nothing going on 1st down. Okay, so got to go back to the drawing board. Maybe it's time for a pass. We catch them off guard with it. We'll throw one there for Mekhi Anderson, and despite the contact, he will pull it in for a Roadrunner touchdown. Good start to the game here. Another 3rd down moment. We're going to look for the RPO. Oh, I should have thrown it there. They bring the blitz and don't convert on that one. We do find ourselves in the red zone very quickly. Looks like we had ourselves a big run. And with 4 minutes left now, Deuce Lawrence is in the backfield, so maybe DJ Dugar Jr. is a little bit banged up, but we'll hand off to him, and he's got some burst, and he's going to score us a touchdown. Okay, so we've got 2 guys with a little bit of burst on this squad, as Deuce Lawrence is kicking the door down and announcing his entry as a UTSA Roadrunner. God, he is so tiny. But big touchdown there for the Roadrunners. That guy's got a little bit of shiftiness to him. Big run there. As we'll watch this one more time in the replay, and he's just able to run right by everybody. So, good start to this game. Definitely what we were hoping for to begin the season. Nice to see DJ Dugar Jr. in the backfield this time. As the sack comes, and it will get to us as we are not able to complete the pass there on 1st down. Thought I had someone, or I thought I had Ramel Stevens there on the out route, but not so much. We're going to hand off to DJ Dugar Jr., try to make a man miss, but can't do so. And it is going to be, I think, 3rd and 1. And the Bobcats are going to take a timeout here. I would love for us to catch them off guard with a passing play here, but it is just so hard to not continue to hand the ball off when we have this run game that has done us so well this year. As you can see, we are over 150 yards rushing with DJ Dugar this game already. How can we not keep handing him the ball? And it's a 4th down here. We're on the 1-yard line. I think he didn't have a chance last game. Maybe we go up and give him a chance this game as he's going to pull it down. He's back. James Madison II finally getting a big play to start this game after not really, having a chance last game based off of the way Eastern Michigan was playing against us. We're going to continue to watch this game unfold here. 21-0 lead. I think we're doing pretty good on our 80 expectation. And we will not get the first down. DJ Dugard Jr. looks a little exhausted. I think after this game, we go into our depth chart and we change the 3rd down back to give Deuce Lawrence some more carries. As we are going to find Arvis Battle Jr. wide open down the field as James Hand only has 82 yards through the air. Haven't been able to find many big plays like that through the air, but we will take them when we get them. As we were talking about Deuce Lawrence, he's now in the backfield here, and we're going to hand off, and he, once again, has pretty nice speed, so quickly able to get us 6 yards. Dugard Jr. back in the backfield for this play, and we are running the screen, so we'll dump it off to him, and he's going to cut and get us the first, and we've got a 1st and goal on the 1 now. And on 1st and goal, do we hand off once again to our best player? I think so, and not able to find anything this time. Texas State really knowing how to clamp us down here in the red zone. So we will look for something in the passing game, maybe. Maybe catch them off guard with the play action, as that's a fumble. And that is not what we wanted to have happen in the slightest. So the ball moves back quite a bit. And it is now 3rd and goal. Definitely need to look through the air to pick something up now. And I saw a guy break open, but it was too late. Up big here in this game. We don't need to feel the pressure to go for it here on 4th. And we'll just take the field goal. So a 24-0 game. Still kind of struggling through the air. I don't know what that is a result of. But they're going for it on 4th here. I think this might be like the first defensive moment we've had all game. Our defense really playing good football. And we are looking here, and that is knocked out. So hold them on 4th down, and we make another big run. So DJ Dugard Jr. having a monster game, it would appear. I would love to see his stats right now, but of course we will see them after the game. And with 2 minutes to go here, a 24-point lead, this is a much better game. I will take this kind of performance from our team here. We definitely have more momentum leaving this game than we did in our first game. And we will walk into a game against Texas with some momentum, as James Madison couldn't hold the block there, but DJ Dugard almost scored a touchdown off of that pitch play. 3rd and 2 now. Clock approaching, a minute left, and we're going to hand off once again, and he's going to cut forward, almost score for like the 5th time, as we get stopped on the 1 for, I can't count how many times we've been stopped on the 1. And do we go back here on 1st down? And yes, we do. We managed to finally break through with DJ Dugard inside the red zone. Feel like we've struggled to get him into the end zone, but we walk out of this I-35 showdown 31-0 winners. And I couldn't be happier with the performance of the team in this game. Shame it's not a home game with recruits in attendance. That would have been even better, but we will take that performance. So I think week 3 is a bye week for us, so we'll walk into next week and we'll manage our practice and recruiting, and I will check in with you once I have done so. A couple of guys have reached their top 5, so we've offered them all their visits, and we've adjusted our pitches, so we're offering the soft sell on what we can. And we also had to kind of pivot off of the quarterback we were looking at. It was just looking more and more like he was going to end up at Texas A&M. So we went to the drawing board and we added Garrett McGlynn here. He is a tiny little guy, but he also does have 89 throw power to go along with 86 speed. So that's definitely something that can develop into something, even if he's not necessarily the tallest guy on the field. So with that being said, recruiting is all set for this week, and we move on to next week, where a big Texas game away from home awaits us. Lord have mercy on our souls. So update here. Oh, we get locked out for Deshaun Landers. Oh, that smarts. That smarts one of my 50. Jesus. Well, that sucks. So we're going to have to go back to the drawing board there. So let's take a look at recruiting, and then I'll get back with you. Here's your recruiting update this week. A couple more guys getting into their top 5. And we did end up having to throw a scholarship offer at one of the guys we did not have an offer on because he finally earned an offer. We add Sam Ryman here to the board. He's a 2-star prospect, so we don't really expect much. We'll take a look for a more talented strong safety in the transfer portal. But for now, we have a big Texas game to focus on. Recruiting is in about as good of a shape as it's going to be. And we walk into a Texas game. Oh, we are ranked. That's crazy. We are the 23rd best team in the country right now as we walk into this matchup against number 6 Texas. And they are an 84 overall. They're actually not that much better than us. That's kind of insane to see. So what will we get today? Are we going to find ourselves in another close battle against Texas? You better not find the face mask, Collins. I'm watching you. Big matchup on the road for the 3rd straight game. Haven't had our home debut this season yet. As we get ready to walk out, oh, we can see the pants. Oh, we finally see the guys holding the cow. We didn't see them the last time we played Texas. So what are we going to have for Texas today? On paper, apparently we're a fairly decent match. Are we going to come out and actually be that today? We will find out in the sim here. We are in a 3rd down situation already on Texas's half of the field. Crowd's rocking here. We look for the run to pick us up a 1st down, and we find ourselves on a 4th and inches. Not able to pick it up there. I mean, I think we run it again on 4th. And we'll hand off to Deuce Lawrence, and he's got space! The 20, the 10, touchdown Roadrunners! And on the first drive, we come out and we put points up here at Texas. This might be a game today, folks, or it might not. It remains to be seen. Big 3rd down as Texas is now driving into our half of the field. It's our turn to step up and make a big play on the defensive side of the ball. What do we have for Texas? No Arch Manning now. New quarterback at the helm for them. Don't know who that is, but they'll hand off here. And oh my goodness, that guy is incredibly shifty. I don't know who that is, but I think it's, okay, JT Lindsay on the carry there. And that is horrifying how quick and shifty he was. It's 4th and 2. They're going to go for it. I have a feeling they're going to hand it off, but they will go with the RPO instead and get the 1st down. They have House Heine starting for them. Or House Haney. I'm not sure how you say his last name, but regardless, he is their starting quarterback, and they do manage to pick up the 1st there. And they end up scoring a touchdown, and they are in another 3rd down situation. And we've got to try to make the stop here, and we're going to step up and get a huge hit on the quarterback. And it's 4th down. They're going to go for it. Once again, do we feel... Oh, the first quarter is going to come to an end, so we've got some time to think about it here. Are they going to go for the run, or are they going to go for the pass? It looks like pass, which means it's going to be run. And they are actually going to commit a false start on 4th and inches. Big time penalty there. Can't afford mistakes like that in a game where they should be dominating. Wow, they're not going to kick it from the 37. Their kicker must be butt and booty cheeks. But we are not going to complain, and they're going to put it in our end zone. Oh, no, they put it on our 4-yard line. Okay. They got Gene Dangus back at punter there, clearly. And they're going to be on offense again. And once again, they are pushing the ball towards our red zone. Got to make a stop here on 3rd down. Offense not seeming to be able to do much against this Texas defense, but our defense holding up on their own. And it is a 10-7 game, and looks like we turned the ball over, and Texas finds themselves back inside of our red zone. It stinks that our offense isn't able to keep up with the defense here, but defense putting up a pretty decent showing here in this first half. As I say that, they're going to complete a pass to the tight end and take a 10-point lead because no one can bring him to the ground. And we are now in the red zone. Okay. Time running out on the half. Can't afford to walk away empty-handed. We're going to find James Madison there. Quick pass. And we're going to try to maybe catch them sleeping here with a draw on 1st and goal. And there is space for Deuce Lawrence to run, but he is not going to be able to score. We still have 2 timeouts, but we just want to keep Texas's defense on their heels as we're going to try to maybe get ourselves in position to snap the ball. And we'll drop it off to Lawrence, who's finally going to manage to get into the end zone. Touchdown, UTSA. We pull ourselves back into this game. And now we're looking at a 3rd and 1. Dugard Jr. in the backfield. We're going to hand off, and we're going to pick up the first. Let our offense keep moving the ball down the field. Now we're in another 3rd down situation. Let's not get greedy. Let's be smart. Step up and slide. Get up the first down. We don't need to be aggressive, and we turned the ball over. I saw that happen. So, can't capitalize on the red zone trip there. Unfortunately, the CPU threw an interception. Once again, we are in a tough matchup against Texas as no one is there on that side of the field to cover the drag, and they're going to pick up a big chunk on that play. And they're getting down inside our red zone. Defense doing everything in their power to keep us in this game, and the offense is just not coming along. And they're going to hand off to JT Lindsey, but we are right there to stop it. And 2nd and 12. It'd be really nice if after one of these big stops that our defense keeps coming up with, if we could maybe come away with some points. We haven't been given many opportunities to actually have the ball in our hands on offense as we make a big stop there and one of their players is hurt. But the CPU just can't seem to move the ball down the field, and it makes sense. We're up against an SEC opponent who, I mean, on paper should be much better than they are. But we're playing pretty close, and that's about as good as we could hope for. I think if we walk away with another touchdown in this game, I think that's a win for us as House Heine steps up, but can't get there. So we get another big stop, and offense once again cannot produce anything with it. And Texas has got a 3rd and 8 here on our half of the field. Got to make another stop for our offense to do nothing with it. And the 4th quarter is actually going to start before they take the snap. And what are we going to be able to produce here? It is 3rd and 8. They've got to throw the ball to find a first, but we're going to be right there with man coverage, and they are not going to be able to pick it up. So we have an opportunity on offense now. We are in Texas's half of the field late in this game. It's 3rd and 1, though, but we're going to hand off to Dugard Jr., who's going to pick us up a first down. And it's 4th and 12 now, and we're going to be tasked with kicking the field goal to tie the game here. We are on the road, so it is going to be a tough kick. And despite the ice effects, we do manage to put the ball through the goalposts and tie this game up. Texas moving the ball down our field quickly. Less than 4 minutes. They're inside our 30-yard line, but it is a 3rd and 17 here. They're going to dump it off, and it is not going anywhere. And we get the ball back only down 3. We have a chance here at the end of this game to go down and tie or even win this game if we have a decent drive, as it's going to start out well with Deuce Lawrence picking up a big chunk on the ground. He's rushed the ball 10 times today for almost 100 yards. About as good of a performance from your running back as you could hope for. As we reach 2nd down, we've got a sprint out play here, and it is picked off. Oh, it's like the worst play. I didn't like it, and I still went with it. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what I was thinking on that one, and they're just going to get the first down right away. I mean, there's no point calling a timeout. We're just going to let the clock roll here. What was I thinking? There was nothing open, and I was just begging for the ball to get picked off with that pass. So we're going to walk out short once again against Texas, more than likely. We gave it everything we had. We put up a good fight. Close game, but the offense held us back. I sold us at the end of the game when we had a chance, and we're going to walk out of here with a 2-1 record because we couldn't execute down the stretch. Now, Texas is probably going to hand off here again, and we can't stop it. So, yeah, the game's over. We're just going to go ahead and hop out here and sim the rest of the way. Brutal way to lose the game. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, and it sucks. So close to a big upset win, but we can't pull it off, unfortunately. And we'll have to go back to the drawing board. Maybe next year we'll finally be able to walk away from one of these big games with a win, but we got to start looking forward to conference play. Let's take a look at the stats here. I mean, definitely played a good game defensively, as James Hand had 142 yards through the air, only a touchdown to 2 interceptions. Rushing-wise, DJ Dugard did not do well through this game on the ground, and Deuce Lawrence was kind of carrying the weight for us there. Have to really take a long look in the mirror there. I mean, Texas's defense was just kind of stalling everything we wanted to do. And we end up losing that game. Oh well. We're not ready to compete with an SEC opponent yet, that much is clear. But we are more than ready to compete with opponents in our own conference. So let's get through our last non-conference game so we can get ready for conference play. We've reached week 5 here. We'll set up practice and take a look at recruiting and get ready for this matchup against Air Force. Hopefully we can bounce back after falling just short against Texas. Really brutal, but stuff happens. Can't be perfect. In a high-pressure situation, we were just trying to make a play, and it just doesn't end up going my way. So let's take a look at everything, and I will get back with you in just a moment. So our recruiting update for this week is that not much has changed. We're working our way up the board for Garrett McGlynn here, and everybody else, we're just getting closer and closer to finishing out the recruitments. And this week is going to be a big week for that. Our first home game of the year against Air Force. Way better than them on paper. Can we come out in this game and put up a good performance? I think even though we didn't walk away with a win against Texas, we still have some momentum based off of how well we played. So let's see if we can continue our good play against a team we should be much better than. First game inside the Alamo Dome here in year 3. Kind of crazy we haven't had many games inside our home's field. But first game, big game, 4 recruits in attendance. We want all of them to join our program. So today we've got to put up a good performance. Air Force went down and scored a touchdown immediately. Hate to see that, but we are on offense here with a chance to score ourselves as we are in plus territory. We're going to hand off here on a third down to Deuce Lawrence, and he has got space. And both DJ Dugard Jr. and Deuce Lawrence can make a lot of things happen in space. So first and goal now. Lawrence still in the backfield. And we're going to hand off to him again, and he's got even more space this time as we get a first and goal situation now. I mean, do we just keep handing the ball off? Air Force has given us nice and big lanes to run the football. And Dugard Jr. in the backfield now, and we'll hand off to him and finish the drive on the ground. Why would we need to throw the ball when Air Force is giving us that much time on the, or that much room on the ground to run it? So 3rd and 7 now. What is Air Force going to pull out? Looks like they're running an option play of some type. They actually pull up and throw the ball, but we do manage to get the stop there. And we are now in a 3rd down situation. Want to start trying to explore our playbook a little bit more because the coach suggestions we keep getting just feel so limited, and I feel like we are not getting many options as that is dropped. And we are finding ourselves in a 4th down situation. I don't really want to put us in a situation to kick a 55-yard field goal. So I think we go for it. And if anything, we go up, we give James Madison a shot, call it an arm punt if it doesn't work, but he goes up and over for the touchdown. I'm going to miss you so much, man. How are we ever going to replace you? Need a big play on 4th down. Who do we look to? Of course, it's James Madison II. This guy has never let us down until we let ourselves down. But big catch there puts us in the lead. We're watching more of this game unfold here. We've got a 3rd and 5 as the second quarter is coming to a close. 3rd and 5, maybe we play for a short 4th down if we can't pick it up, but DJ Dugard Jr. does just that, and we move ourselves even further into scoring territory as they will hand us the reins on 3rd and 4. Drop back to pass. We're going to look, step up. We're going to get called for the illegal forward pass. I always try to... I try to step forward and close to the line of scrimmage and then roll, but I always end up going past. So we put ourselves out of position, and they want us to go for it on 4th here, and I am game to do that. We're going to drop back to pass. I see a one-on-one coverage there on the outside, and we'll find Mekhi Anderson for the 1st down. James Hand having a much better day through the air today already, it looks like, as he's already got 155 yards and a touchdown. We're going to look to hand off to DJ Dugard Jr. here, and he can't make a man miss. That's the one thing we have problems doing with him. And they're going to call a timeout here. 2nd and 2. We go back to the well, keep running the ball. Air Force having a really hard time dealing with our running backs. They'll call another timeout. And it's 3rd and inches. Do I go up and let one of my guys have a chance on 3rd down here? Maybe it's time we give Mekhi Anderson a shot on that other side, and he cannot go up there and get it. 4th and inches. 7-point lead, late 1st half. I think we go for a run play. We let our best player take the ball and take us 14 points ahead. UTSA touchdown as the half ends, and we actually have the ball back with 3rd and inches on their half of the field. You guys want to take a wild guess at what I want to do here? They've got 2 guys on him down the field, but maybe we go up and get it anyway, and we do! Touchdown, Road Runners. James Madison, how about this for a homecoming? 2 insane touchdowns in this game. Our big play receiver doing exactly what we wanted him to come back and do, and that's make big plays. So another 3rd down opportunity here. 3rd and 10. What do we produce here? Nothing. They get through immediately on the pressure, and we are sacked before we can even consider throwing the ball. 4th down now. We got no choice but to try to kick a 55-yard field goal. True freshman kicker. So Lacey Higgins, does he have the leg? Oh, he might have the leg, but it might not be good. Or maybe it is. Sneaks in the right upright, and that is a big field goal. So that's why we like bringing in those guys with the power archetype. They can really put in some big field goals for you. And as the 4th quarter approaches, we're looking at a 30-7 game as we're not quite able to pick up the 1st down there. We'll probably get an opportunity here as the 4th quarter will start here to pick up that 4th and inches. And so on 4th and inches, they want us to kick it now in the 4th quarter. And you know what? We're up by a big margin. I don't feel the need to keep pushing it. Let's go let our freshman kicker try to make a super big kick. And he's going to put all of his leg into that one, and it is good. So our true freshman kicker has got 57 yards in his leg at least. As we continue to watch this game wind down to a close. A 3rd down opportunity for us. Up big, 33-7. Let's be smart and hand off here to Deuce Lawrence, who will manage to find the yardage we need. And that's a 1st down. We're in the red zone here. Game winding down. We'll set our adjustments to chew the clock here. Not in a hurry to score. Definitely ready to walk out of here with the win and positive news in the recruiting trail. Just keep handing the ball off until we have no choice other than to pass. But it looks like as we hand off here, he is going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Roadrunners. Deuce Lawrence is an electric guy for us in the run game. So 2-minute timeout. We are up huge here in this game against Air Force. Feels like we're playing on a lower difficulty, but I can promise you, and I will show you if you want me to, that we are still playing on Heisman as nothing goes on that run. But we are walking out of here 40-7 victors over Air Force. Definitely the kind of bounce back we needed after that Texas game. And we can walk into conference play next week and next episode with some real momentum in our sails. I did not look at the stats here, so let's take a look at the box score. Our guys, James Hand had 253 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. Really efficient completion percentage. Both of our running backs had great games on the ground, almost rushing for 100 yards each and 3 touchdowns between the 3 of them. James Madison went for 7 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that game. And then defensively, not producing a lot of pressure or tackles for loss. Managed to pull away 1 turnover there. But overall, just a really solid offensive performance. And as we go into next week, hopefully that made a difference in some of these recruiting battles. And we are going to see our first hard commitment of the year from Daryl Huber. We're going to get another hard commitment from Dante Gibbs. And we are in good position for these other recruitments. So when we begin our next episode, we will have a big game against Memphis, a team we struggled to put up anything against last season and ended up playing for conference title hopes. And we'll see what we can do. First game in conference, recruits in attendance. We will see what our UTSA Roadrunners have the next time we get together. So if you did enjoy today's video, I would love it if you left a like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys are feeling about our roster here 3 or 4 games into Season 3. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I always enjoy having you guys along the ride as we sim through these games and try to win ourselves the title. And I will hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care.